Okay, let's get started. I'm using gum paste because I'm going to roll it really thin. I'm using a rolling pin with these guides so that I get a nice even layer all the way. I've dyed my gum paste the color I want. So this is going to be for the tail and the outer ears. I'm just going to get this started. The tail's quite large, so, and I'm just going to eye it. When it comes to the ears, what I have done is I've drawn out what I think I want my size to be, and I've just made myself a little template and cut it out. So we'll use this as my guide. And then I'll do another one for the inner ear so that both ears will be the same size. So when it comes to this tail, I'm putting it on a 7-inch cake. So I need a little bit of height, but okay. I think that'll be giving me enough of a height to work with. Okay, still a little, because I do want this to be totally even. So I'm going to use a pizza cutter of all tools. I'm just going to cut off the base. So, okay, so I'm going to take this pizza cutter and I'm going to cut a flat base. So this is going to go on both the bottom of the cake, and this tail will attach to the back of the cake. So what I want to do is I want to get a nice decent curve up and over and swooping down, and then it's going to be fairly wide. Bring it up and over. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is go deeper and cut this out. Then I'll set it aside to dry. And there. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is rub the edges, smooth them out, and that should be the tail done. Next we're going to work on the ears. So I'll put this aside. Okay, so I'm rolled out my gum paste. I'm ready to do my ears. Okay, so I've taken a bit of thicker paper and I've drawn out what I think I want for my ears. I feel it's going to be the right size. And I'm just going to use this as my template. So And the reason I've drawn it out is I want both my ears to be approximately or as near to the same size as I can get. So I'm just gonna roll around, take it all the way. Okay, so I've now indented, so I'll take my knife and I'll just cut that out. So just slowly. I'm then going to do the same kind of thing with the internal ear. So I'll do the second ear, and then I'm going to cut out what I think I want for my inner ear. I'll make a template, and then I'll again, I'm going to just lightly rub the edges, take off any jagged little bits, and I'll put this aside to dry. So I've done it fairly thick, same as this tail, because it is going to have to support itself. I need it to be, I'll be drying this, putting the inner ear, I'll add lollipop sticks to the back, so this will skewer into the top of the cake. We'll keep going. Okay, same thing as before. I've rolled out my fondant. Put actually this template, don't forget, being the opposite ear, I'm just going to flip it over, and that way I'll get the same look. All the way around. Take your time and get it right. Okay. And I'll cut this and we'll be ready to do the internal parts. Okay, now I'm going to take my ear template, and I'm going to just draw where I want my, I think I'll bring it down a little further. And I'll take scissors and I'll cut that out, and hopefully it'll be what I want. So I've got scissors and I'm just going to cut Okay, so let's test out. So we're going to have it just like so. So this will be the lighter colour gum paste that I've already done up. So we'll get that started. And then all I'll do is, this one I want thin, so I'm not going to use the guides because it's just going to be a thin layer. And I'm going to add water to and just lay it on top. So get this down nice and thin. So same as before, I've rolled it out thin, put my template on, and then I'm just going to mark it out. Okay. Just like last time. Take it slow, steady, and cut it through. And same as last time, we're just going to make sure the edges are nice and smooth. And this will go just like this part of my ear. Okay, I'll get the second one started. Okay, so you can see how thin this is, and we're just going to place it on the top like that and make sure we're happy with it. Okay, take my paintbrush, a little bit of water, and I'll apply it to it. Lay it down and place it on. So, a bit. Just the tiniest little bit of water all the way through and stick it on. And there you have it. Put this aside to dry, and we'll get the next one started. Now I'm going to work out how I want the face. So I know that it's a 7-inch pan, so I'm going to go 18 centimeters. 18 centimeters. So this is going to be the front face of my cake. So noting that it goes round, so if I work out that I need an eye, and I want my nose to be quite large. So these. Okay, so I have a basic idea of what I'm actually want to achieve here. So I've got my black fondant, and for the eyes I'm going to lay it out quite thin. I'm going to take a small cutter. I think that's all I'm going to need. And I'm just going to elongate it just a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to do the second eye. So the same kind of thing, slightly elongated. I'm going to grab just a tiny bit of white and add little white dot to either eye. Okay, so my nose, I'm going to look at I want to make it a slight triangle and round it off. So bring it just down a little bit. So you get the general idea of what I'm chasing here. Okay, now for the eyebrows, what I'm going to do is take my black and roll it out thin. Take my cutter and I'm going to just make my little eyebrows. And again, the other side. I'm going to and last up, I've got my fondant extruder. Okay, last up I got my fondant extruder. I'm going to load it up with a bit of gum paste here. I've got a little disc that has a, I guess a medium-sized hole. And here we go. So with this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do his shape his mouth. I might use my cutter as a guide, decide where I want it, and I'll cut it off. And just pinch the end so that it tapers. Neaten it up. Then for the other side, I'm going to join it. And again, taper it round. Make it look even. I'm going to pinch it off. So I've used my extruder to do the shape of my mouth. and again for the bottom of his little mouth, just like that. So I'll just take a little dot of water on either side and I'll let that dry. We also have small little lines to represent giving the nose a little bit of depth. So now all I have left to do is get the ear. I'm going to cut out a little bit and attach some 4-inch lollipop sticks onto this ear, so that when I got my cake I can insert it into the cake. So I'm just gonna guess at the moment. I'm gonna go, I think that this should be about right. So I've got I think I want it slightly more upright, so I'm going to take a little bit more out of, where do I put my knife? Tiny bit more out of here. Yep, that'll look quite right on that. So when I've got this here, I'm going to take this other ear and I'm going to just copy it so that they'll sit on the cake the same. So again, I've done it mirror image, so when I attach it, they will both sit other way, like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn these over, and then I'm just going to attach with some glue. Where is my paintbrush? Right here. A bit of glue on the stick. I may need to use candy melts. I'll see how I go. No, I think that'll actually work. So they'll be able to, I'll take this further back and give it a bit of a support. So when they insert it into the cake, they can insert it like, I'll take this around here, so they'll insert it like that, and it will hold this in place. So I'll just put this on the side to dry, and I'll do the other one, and then we're done.